Good. Right.
How are you, young lady? And congratulations on your new job.
Congratulations, my love.
Thank you. Start tomorrow. Bloody hell. Yeah.
So again, if you've watched the podcast before, you know what you're going to get now.
You know this young lady.
I will try to fail to disappoint.
So this is your hour. So take it away.
Right. I decided on this particular topic.
Cool.
5 music albums that have changed your life.
Wow. We've not had a music topic yet.
I know.
That's amazing. That is so cool. Sorry, I'm just munching on Maltesers.
You munch away. As I say, when I was thinking about it, I thought, oh, they're totally going to think I'm going to go down the book route. And I thought, nah, I'm going to do a little bit of a wild card. And I thought, we're going down the music album route. And this is not a sort of topic where I want to show off like how cool I am with music. A lot of the
trust me, I'm not good. Yeah, trust me, I'm not going to be cool at all with this, so don't worry.
So, should I begin?
You go.
Yes. Start us away, young lady.
Right, the first album, one that has changed and defined my life, was released in 1995. And it has the most beautiful album art of a very sassy lady wearing red. With Dr. Martens, that'll red. And holding, I do believe, a Satsuma. It is more Tragic Kingdom.
I'm just a girl, some kind of freak.
Yes. No. God, why didn't I get that?
Before Gwen sold out and went all and went all corporate.
Well, I remember this album was a birthday gift. Age 10 on cassette tape, and I do believe the Christmas beforehand I did get one of these little sort of bubbly looking radio cassette players for Christmas, which had me listening and recording music songs from the radio. And I had this really bad habit of ringing up radio stations with songs and then oh my God, I'm on the radio. Well, that's how I was introduced to, no doubt, like hearing Don't Speak, obviously the single on the radio, and I was obsessed with it. So I remember sitting cross-legged on I think it was a Wednesday morning, sitting cross-legged with my St. Anne's school uniform on, age 10, the morning of my birthday, listening to the songs with a little foldy out lyricy thing, and I was just reading the song 10 minutes before I went to school, and it's just it fills us with so much lovely memories.
That's beautiful.
I completely get it as well. What I loved about what I loved it about as well, when, like, say, when they came out, nobody looked like the way Gwen Stefani sang as well. No one was singing like she is absolutely beautiful. Like there's not a person on this world that would not look at her and think stunning. But when the noise came out and the way she sang and how she sang it hadn't been done like that like before, and it was just not to go over the top, but it was quite revolutionary at the time as well. And it opened the door for so many other female artists as well, just to show, right, I can kick down this door and go for it really. But that album, I listened when I listened the first time, it absolutely blew me away, because it was like it's a mixture of so many different things. It's like rock, it's a bit reggae at times, like say,
bit of ska, bit of punk in there.
And I hadn't heard anything like that in my life.
Because I mean, Don't Speak was just poppy to oblivion. But when I remember listening to like the other tracks, and I was just like, God, this is so new, so different. And as you said, the way in which he sang and the lyrics, and it was just like, it blew my mind at such a young age. And ironically, the favourite songs that I have on the album weren't the singles. So Just a Girl, Don't Speak, one of my favourite songs was actually Spiderwebs, which
Spiderwebs, Any girl who loves, no doubt, loves Spiderwebs. It's one of their favourites.
Oh, it's absolutely lush. And the title track, Tragic Kingdom, at the intro where they're on a plane, you know, and just her voice is just absolutely delicious. It's and as I say, it introduced me to loads of different genres. You know, they had that little bit of ska punk sort of kind of lean there. And she became like a style icon for me. Like, I remember wearing skirts and trousers because of her.
Yeah. And she doesn't age. She's like the Paul Rudd. She's definitely a vampire. I don't know how she's done it.
She lives in cookware.
She looks exactly like she did like 20 or even 30 years ago, and I get like mesmerized when you look at her because she is absolutely stunning.
Especially for like, what is she now, 50? Like,
close to it.
Rocking the 50. Like, she looks amazing. I wouldn't say it was one that changed my life, but it is definitely one that's in there because it's like, it's no doubt, like it was revolutionary for the time. Like, female singer almost in like a scary punk, like it wasn't heard of.
It was like not to explain, but it was like the female Sex Pistols in a way.
A little bit out of it, yeah. I'd see where you're coming from, because with a punk ska element to it, the Sex Pistols were just assholes. No, I'm just kidding. I really do like them. I'm just kidding. Go on then, Paul. What's yours?
If album that changed my life, it depends, because like say I was going from like pre-teen, teen, or like adult. Probably the album that I wore out during my teenage years was probably Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill.
That would have been one of my picks. Yes. That is one of my picks as well. That I've been running through my head picks, and that is one of mine. It was an album that defined a whole year of my life.
Yeah, I think from start to finish, like on the album, there's not one bad song or a skip song that you would do. You can listen to it on repeat, and like even though the iconic song doesn't make sense, but still, but like I say, one hand in my pocket. I'm not going to sing that one because I've got a Canadian accent, so I don't think I'm going to do it well. But Anxious God, like I say, she played God in Dogma, so you kind of dispute that. So I would probably go Jagged Little Pill. But before that, I would probably not go the. It's probably a bit generic, but probably John Lennon, the Imagine album, because my mum and dad were both huge Beatles fans, and I didn't inherit the love of the Beatles, but I loved the Imagine because I had it on vinyl. And like I said, it had songs on like Jealous Guy on as well and stuff like that. It was just the tone and feel to it. It resonated to us for a while, but again, I don't know why. It didn't change my life. That was the album I listened to a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. Every time I think of Jealous Guy, I always think of Look Who's Talking. Jealous Guy. His little sister.
Oh, what a film. That was Look Who's Talking too, wasn't it? With his little sisters.
Yeah, with Roseanne Barr.
What a film. What a film. John Travolta at his best.
Oh my gosh. Jagged Little Pill is one of mine. It literally defined a whole year of my life. The secret track. The secret track at the end of the album was played at one of my close friends at the time, when she passed away 25 years ago. Tell us about it. I feel old and wrong for saying that in such circumstances. But yeah, that was played at her funeral. It was like, it literally defined everything. I remember just not being able to not listen to it every day. I can't listen to that song. I couldn't for a very long time. I haven't even tried. Like recently, I like slipped my mind. But yeah, it is an amazing album. There's not one song on there that you don't, the minute it comes on, you know it instantly. Wasn't she touring with the album, like, and it got halted through COVID and stuff? And
I think they were doing. I don't think it was the album that she was doing. I think she was just doing a tour.
I thought she was touring Jagged Little Pill because it was an anniversary of the release, and she was doing like it was when like Metallica did the Black album, and they did the Black album at They did a couple of tours with that, and they took it to download, and they just played the Black Album in its entirety. And I'm sure that's what she was doing. But she's also there's the musical Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, I think the person before Jules would have been a good person to answer that one because she had tickets for it.
Oh well, that would have been ideal to ask. I'm positive it was something along those lines. I'm sure because it was an anniversary, and obviously the musical was coming out at the same time. Because I remember people who going to see the musical and having tickets to go and see her show. I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. But yeah, Jagged Little Pill is one of mine as well. You couldn't. I think in our age group, you could not pick it.
But going back what you said about the hidden track, I miss hidden tracks.
Me too.
And I remember, I mean, this I could do like 10 music albums that like have changed my life, and one that I haven't picked but that I'm going to mention due to the sake of chat is Placebo, Without You I Am Nothing. I remember shitting my lord when the music started up from the secret track, and I thought, what the and then I'm sure it was like Evil Dildo or something, and it's just really kind of crazy, and it's a message on his answer machine of this like someone and I will cut your cock off and chew it up with my little teeth. I was just like, what the hell is this? Am I high? Do you remember it? Please, I'm not imagining this. Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I'm going to find it.
Oh my God. I swear to God, I used to listen to Without You I Am Nothing loads, because I'm going to mention this like in a little while. My music tastes were totally in like kind of put on me via my older brother and sister. I always got their cast-offs, whether it be toys, computer games, things like that, and music was exactly the same. And my brother had Placebo, Without You I Am Nothing. Lovely album art with the two ladies, you know, kind of doing the whole
yeah.
And I remember, like, obviously, Every You and Every Me. I know
Nancy Boy.
Bloody marvellous. But yeah, that was kind of like, you know, sitting in my room, I've just listened to the whole album. I haven't been bothered to like put it back to track one, and then this bloody music started up, and I was just like,
what's going on? But it's funny though, because when you say a Placebo, what instantly jumps into my head is Cruel Intentions.
Yes.
I can't help but think of Placebo without thinking of Cruel Intentions, that film, because like they go together so well. Same with, what's the matter?
I don't know where it fits in Cruel Intentions, because every time I think of it, Bittersweet Symphony comes into my head.
It's the beginning when he's in his car, and when you can kind of, and it zoom pans into Ryan Phillippe and his little sporty motor.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it's really good.
Okay.
I'm sure Nancy Boy's in Cruel Intentions as well at some point, but that might be just me reading it, because I know like I say, and the Verve's in it, that's the big song.
Yeah, that's like the one I only picture with it.
But Every Me and Every You is like the starting point for Cruel Intentions, and that's why it always leads into, and that brought my love of Sarah Michelle Gellar to new levels, and my teenage dreams and like other activities in the bedroom.
Classic. Right, I'll go on to my next one. We had a bit of a tangent going on there. Of course, that was going to be happening because it's me at the end of the day. Thoughts. Swat that I am. Right, next album is released in 1991. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a cop-out.
Right.
Greatest hits complete.
Oh,
I know.
Was it Now 41 or something like that?
Well, that was good. No, this is it's the definitive Simon and Garfunkel.
Wow. You and my mum would get on like a house on fire.
Yeah.
I had to listen to this constantly in the car with Simon and Garfunkel. Yep.
Album. It's an album.
Yep.
Oh,
This was my life.
So before you go on about this one, just a quick question as well. What is your favourite compilation album, Sam? Because mine would be Leonard Skinner, Best of Leonard Skinner.
Oh, mine's got to be a Queen album, like Best of Queen.
Queen.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, sorry about that, Kelly.
No, don't worry about it at all. So I remember yet again cassette tape, and it was white front with the two of them looking very like wistful and
like looking in the they're like looking into the abyss, like, oh yeah, I can picture it.
Gotta love that abyss. Anyway. I've just got memories of as a child driving with my dad in his red Ford Escort. What was hilarious.
Oh my God.
This car, right? Do you know cars nowadays when you shut the door, right? And you feel like you're in a cocoon of car.
Yeah.
Cocoon of car.
The outside just out and you're in. Whereas with my dad's Ford Escort, you went into it and you still felt like you were outside because they were like, oh, you felt like you were still in the elements, but you were in the car.
My mum had a red Ford Escort. I'm sure she did. I'm sure when she passed her test, that was the car she got. Did we live like in a parallel world where like my mum was in her red car listening to Simon and Garfunkel, and your dad's in his red car listening to Simon and Garfunkel?
Well, I love going into the car because my dad used to let me do the gears.
Oh my God, my mum used to let me do that on my way to pick my dad up from work, and she's listening. She can clarify because I was so good at changing the gears. She was always like, you'll pass your test pretty quickly, you know, if you know gears. It took me nearly 12 years to pass my driving test.
You jinxed it. Right, anyway. So I remember sitting in the front with me dad, like, yeah, sitting in the front of the Ford Escort, everything's creaking and driving, and like, you know, the wind's gone through my hair and the windows are closed, so how does that happen? And I used to have like in the glove compartment all of these tapes and stuff like that, and a little bit of a sample of the tapes that he had in there. We had was it the greatest hits of ELO?
Right, okay.
Mum's favourite band.
The greatest hits of Supertramp was in there.
Wow.
As well as this definitive Simon and Garfunkel. So I just remember we used to, what my dad used to say, choose what we're going to have, put it in, and we used to sing the lot. I know every lyric, every song on there, and I love them all. I remember, I think I was about 25 or 26, went to a car boutique singing because I wanted to get some material for some burlesque costumes and props and stuff like that. And I was just having a little gander, and I saw the flipping tape in a car booty, and I was like, it was £1.
Wow.
Silly bargain. I love that. But I love Simon and Garfunkel. They're the sort of band that just makes me tremble. And because of my dad having that in the car, obviously that led into, you know, Graduate, which is soundtrack by Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. Some songs are just absolutely, the lyrics are absolutely beautiful. I am a rock, I am an island, a rock feels no pain and an island never cries. It's just so like, oh my God, so poetic.
Yeah.
However, my favourite song on there is The Zoo, because it's absolutely hilarious.
Right. I can't remember The Zoo.
Oh,
I'm trying to think.
You'll remember The Zoo. One tells me it's all happening at the zoo. I do believe it. I do believe it's true. Ooh, it's just so jaunty and lovely. They talk about the animals with character. One of my favourite, orangutans are sceptical of changes in their cages, and the zookeeper is very fond of rum. Yes. Jamie. Ah.
I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to listen to this now. You've sold it us.
I think I'm broken. Hey Kelly, you bitch.
It's a really good song.
Oh God.
I like happy songs. I don't like zoos. I think they're shit. I think animals should be free. But I really enjoyed it, and I just stayed in the car with Dad, and like, was it the zebras are reactionary? Just dancing and singing, and it was just absolute lush. Love it.
Oh gosh. Paul, what's yours?
I don't know what quite say. Like driving the car song. That's going to be. I'll probably say. Like say, my dad used to listen to Queen a lot. So going back to the generic ones. Probably shouldn't say it, but probably Gary Glitter. My dad used to listen to quite a lot.
And Dad was the same. It's like, don't want to dare admit it now, but yeah, they used to listen to it.
Oh my gosh.
I totally get it. I have one that like, not like a car song, like Simon and Garfunkel, George Michael, Soul to Soul. They were in my mum's car constantly. But if I had to talk about an album that completely changed my life, Slipknot's first album,
yes,
is one of the greatest ever metal albums that has ever been released. If you are in such a down and dark place, put that on and clear your mind, because that's it. It just wipes everything away. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I totally get that, like that music, that style of music. But if you are really listening to it, it is some of the most brilliantly written music out there. It just clears my head. If I am having a day, I've still got the CD, because I have a CD player in my car. I still have my CD, go straight in, just to give my head a good clear out with Slipknot's first album. Excuse me, is hands down my favorite. No, not just my favorite, but it got me through. It gets me through my little dark and depressing days.
Similar type of thing. If we're going to go that route, probably the album that didn't change but made us feel a little bit more accepted in me, like especially after going to college, was probably Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Like say, I know it's probably a generic choice now, and like say, but the time that came out, like the new metal stage was just about to take off,
just kicking off,
and that was the thing that we used to like enjoy going to. It wasn't Mr. Blue. It wasn't Mr. Blue.
It was Bar 36.
No, Pilgrim on a Tuesday night. When
was it?
No, because it was when Michael Dixon used to, where nobody used to go in, and we used to play. He was meant to be the DJ, and me, Claire, Emma, and I think you were there a few times. But we used to go in, just sit in the back table, and
I didn't go quite a lot. Like I came out with the Liberty Days. But I remember when the album came out. So my friend, my very old friend Brian, he got it straight away. He got it on a copy. I don't know how he got it, but he got it on a copy, like copied it for all of us. And so I had it, and then all of a sudden MTV showing the video, and then the album's out, and then everyone's on it, and I'm like, I knew about this weeks ago. I thought I was the coolest person in the world, but nobody gave a shit. Like in my head, I am rocking this because I knew them first. Nobody cared.
No, it said, and again, I know, like say, it wasn't a title track, but when they released it, when Numb came out, that was groundbreaking. It just changed everything, and especially, I know that Jay-Z came out and done a version. I think
it's
he did
brilliant.
It well. Yeah,
really good. I love that version.
So that was the big turning point. Like say, especially in my not goth days, because I was never a goth.
You were not. You were not, but you knew how to hang with the alternative crowd. Like you knew your stuff. Numb is. See, again, it's like, I like Linkin Park. I've seen them quite a few times, but they were never really forefront, like, this is my band. But when Chester passed, and then you go back and you listen, and it's like, you get it. And I don't know if it's because I'm an adult now, or try to be. I get it. Like, I totally get it. And now I understand him and I'm appreciating him. It happens every time when someone passes away and I go and have a look at their body of work and I can understand things, and I appreciate them more after they've passed than I did once they were living, but I don't know how to overcome that until because I don't know this until it's actually happened. But Chester is another one. Like, I watched his memorial concert the date, and listening to a room full of people sing Numb was absolutely unreal. Honestly, it was even just watching it, like being in the presence there would have been surreal, but even just watching it, that was like an experience. That's a really good call. That I like that album.
Cool.
Now, going back to Slipknot, I remember when I used to knock around Goth Green.
Mint, yeah, used to do that too.
I remember I was the only lass on Goth Green at fishnets and a pair of Rockports, because my dad bought us Rockports instead of Dr. Martens because he thought they were better.
And he was right. They were a lot of friggin' money. They were very heavy. I had a pair.
But with fishnets, Rockports and fishnets. I mean, a tracky bees tucked in, fair enough, but I was like this Charvaic goth hybrid on the green with me getting Rockports instead of me Dr. Martens.
I bet your knee would mess with you though.
But I remember when I used to knock around there, I really wanted a Slipknot hoodie. You know, that the kind of, you know, the
big chunky and the
yeah. And I said, Mum, for my birthday, can I have a Slipknot? Not 14th, 13th, no, 15 was a bit too old. And she said, Slipknot, is that a kind of knitted stitch?
Mint. What an answer. Oh my God.
Slipknot, this band will get masks and that. And she's like, oh dear.
See, when I first got introduced to them, I was about 16 years old, and my friend had done me, it was like my Rock 101, and he did us a tape of songs that he was like, right, you're getting into metal, I want you to listen to this. This is your education. And Slipknot was on there, and I effing hated it. It was like, oh, this is just screaming, I don't get it. And then a few years later, I decided I bought, I think Slipknot were like at the height, like Duality, and Duality. I'm not even there. Like on the second album, was it Beryllium or something? And like it was starting to get like a big of a name, and I thought, right, I'm doing it. I'm going to listen to the first album, and honestly, it just blew us away. It is one of the best albums ever created. And again, if you need you need something to give your head just to clear out, does the job. Really does the job.
I was probably opposite because I wasn't a big Slipknot fan, but I was more of a Stone Sour fan when Corey Taylor done the extra stuff. That was probably my type, because
seen them a few times.
I was never into the more heavy rock things. Like say, I was what like I would call dad rock, like AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, and stuff like that. That was always my thing. Like say the Foo Fighters as well. But again, we'll come on to that. But it's so Kelly, so your next pick there, young lady.
Well, I'm wearing what, Stevie, as you may have known.
I have now. I could not make her out earlier, sorry.
I do not apologise. My spirit animal. So the next choice, I was a bit unsure about the album that I was going to pick. I'm not going to go down the solo route of Stevie. I'm going to go down the band Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
1987, Rumours.
Best album ever made.
It's honestly walk into my mum's house on an afternoon when she's finished work. That is all that's playing.
It is, like I say, it's perfection. The feeling and the emotion in that album, you could tell what they went through when they made that. They were not the happiest of bands, but honestly, that music they made was something special.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yet again, it's another choice inspired by my dad's car journey, all that sort of stuff. But he did have like quite a few Fleetwood Mac ones in there. Rumours wasn't one of them though. It was the greatest hits and Tango in the Night, which was like where I had I do believe I want to be with you everywhere. Anyway, Rumours.
Yes.
Boy, as we have said, obviously I've always posting shit about Stevie Nicks and stuff. She is my spirit. I frigging love her. And I remember I was a very isolated child. Can you believe? My brother and my sister, 8 years older than us. My brother was 12, so they didn't want to play with us. I was shit crack. You know what I mean?
But you've taught them now. You've shown them now, Kelly.
A tiny child. So I remember going to my nana's. This is my mum's mum, my nana Ada, who was like total Irish Catholic, 33. Now that class. And I remember going to her and I said, Nana, can I have the net curtain, please? Goes,
oh my gosh.
Goes in the airing cupboard, gets the net curtain. I gone outside and I'm gone, pretend to be Stevie Nicks, singing at the top of me lungs, Gold Dust Woman. That's me, aged about 5 or 6, running around singing Gold Dust Woman. A song about cocaine. With net curtain.
And singing song from a practicing witch as well.
I was like, rock on, gold dust woman. Running up and down the garden, and then I'd be like, oh, Dave, I'm bored. Will you marry us? With the net curtain. Makes a lot of sense, but no. That net curtain, I had some good times with that net curtain.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Kelly, I want to buy you a new net curtain just so you can have now. So you can experience it. Please, next time you come on the podcast, bring a net curtain with you. I want to see it. I want to see the magic.
What I'll do, right? I'm sure there's a photograph of me posing in the garden with the net curtain like this, going like the arm, the proper Nick's arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right, okay, about the music rather than my you know.
I'm happy to talk about either. So that's.
But obviously, I was very ignorant of the cocaine subject matter, but I absolutely loved it. It was just mystical, beautiful, and Stevie Nicks has just got this way of singing where this is my English language teacher coming in. The syntax, the word order is so bizarre. She like says stuff not in the order that you would expect. I'm kind of think off the top of my head, but the way in which she starts like a line of lyric with a subject and then it's so strange and almost felt like, and I'm like, this bitch is a witch and I love her.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's like she's weaving a spell, and I'm like, good. I used to absolutely love Lindsey Buckingham. Oh my God, what a hottie to trotty, and the chemistry between them, because obviously this album, Rumours, everyone was pretty much shagging each other.
Yeah.
Everything was just a boiling point, and they were getting through their angst via these songs, and it was like, Jesus, I mean, Go Your Own Way was about Nicks from Lindsey, and you can see her if you see them live, right? Fucking great. You've got singing, and she's giving them daggers. Because she knows it's about her, and he's singing and doing this, and she's singing and looking at him going,
I won't get you.
Yeah.
I love, like I said, Go Your Own Way, that song is just so iconic in so many different ways. And what I liked about the Rumour song as well, it's an album full of songs, but all the songs have that little bit of difference to it. There's not the same type of tone or feeling. Each song is a little bit different to the next, and you don't get that with many albums now. Like, for example, say I'm a big Metallica fan, but if you play a Metallica album down, you at some points, if you take the gaps out, you wouldn't necessarily hear the changes, especially in like Saint Anger and stuff like that. But like they say with Rumours, every song has its own individual heartbeat.
I need to bring one in because this is hilarious, right? Okay. The Chain, you know, the Formula One song.
Yeah, dude.
Right. This was one of my first experiences of being taken over by the music. Like, I was possessed by the treble clefs and the little other naughty things that I don't know because I don't do music. I remember my dad was driving up Hilton Road, right? And it was the round robin, which is now a Herons. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
Right. And it was going and then it was like and it was getting ready like for the kick. Oh, I just decided to pull the handbrake.
I would love to know what your dad's reaction was to that.
Oh my God. Well, obviously, I was just like, because the thing is, I remember like listening to the music and that, and my hand just inching towards the handbrake, just having my hand on the handbrake, and I just went,
oh my God, Kelly.
well, we didn't die.
That's a godsend.
But I tell you what, my dad wasn't too fucking happy. Because it was a roundabout as well. We nearly did a donut.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I don't know why I did it.
It's
but
the music took over. The music took over.
It had to be done. It just had to be done.
And you did it. You did it. That's amazing.
How was the car after this?
Oh, it was the red Ford Escort. It was fine.
Indestructible. Absolutely indestructible.
It's a cockroach of the fucking car world, isn't it? Just
Don't die.
You'll have Nissan Micras and red Ford Escorts.
Oh God!
Just to go, like, say, because I've noticed in the comments as well that they have requested a video of you performing it with the neck curtain on the Facebook groups. So that's your next task.
Be well up for that.
She's the only person who gets that request who I would know who going, I'll take it. Nebosh.
Oh, it would be lovely doing it in the snow because it's like snow, snow. Snow.
She's got thoughts now. Thoughts. I was just gonna another album of mine, and it's only because you mentioned them. And my favorite band of all time is Metallica. All time. Last night I was at a rock orchestra by candlelight. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. They played Fleetwood Mac. They did Nothing Else Matters. It was honestly an absolutely surreal, unreal experience. Had such a good night. It was lovely, like being out with Emma again. But Metallica's Black Album was the one that really got us to understand them. Mm-hmm. And then I could go back and appreciate the first album, like, you know, Kill 'Em All and so forth. And yeah, the Black Album was oh my God, you can play guitars, you can sing a melody, and you can still be heavy as fuck. Like that was the definition of metal. Like, it isn't all just what people are making it out to be. It's not all this screaming and rah rah rah. There's a melody there. There's vocals there. And it's still like it has a heaviness to it, and Metallica like does it for me. I haven't really listened to a lot of their new stuff. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like bullshit people saying, well, I really love that new album, because I have no idea. Like, I have not listened to any of their new material over like the last few years. I think Saint Anger was the last album I listened to.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose all street cred with my next one, so don't worry.
Okay. So it's just I have no shame. I am not part of the cool kids at all. I still listen to music that like I've been listening to since I was 16 years old. And the Black Album is one of them. I was fortunate enough, I've seen them perform it in its entirety. It was an experience. It was emotional, it was spiritual, and it was like everything I expected it to be. I love everything about them. They changed music for us, for us to understand it, and that's why they will forever and always be my number one, my number one band. Love them so much, seen them so many times.
Many times.
Again, like I say, normally I don't get ashamed of things, but I'll probably get the piss took out. I was rotten for this one, but it helped us get over a bit of a breakup. Was at the time as well. It was Nickelback. How You Remind Me. That album that came out. Again, Nickelback gets a lot of shit, but when you listen back to the original album that came out, there is quite a few catchy tracks.
Hey,
and
we were singing that This Is How You Remind Me for how many years?
Yep.
How many years? Gotta have done something right.
Yeah. And like I say, they Get Back, and it wasn't Get Back, I can't remember it now, but like I say, when you listen to them, a lot of them is about, a lot of the songs on the album was about breaking up or leaving someone or having your heart broken, and it kind of did help us get over that and realise that I was probably being immature with the way I was feeling about getting broken up with. because no one likes getting dumped. It's never a nice feeling. But
No.
I'll dump you, Sam. Don't worry.
Oh my God, we're only halfway through. I haven't been that bad. I was missing for an hour.
Sorry, when I log off at 10, you can do an extra hour to make up. It's fine. But no, it was probably that one. Like say Nickelback. Yeah. Again, not my finest moment, but I love that album, and I still have a soft spot.
If you love that album, then you love that album. Music is not a competition or anyone who can define or say this is good and this is not. Because you mentioned earlier John Lennon, can't stand him. Really can't. I have never been a Beatles fan. I'd never get in the hype with John Lennon. I just don't get it. That's my personal preference. I will never discourage anyone or even try to say, oh, well, they're shit. You shouldn't like them because they're shit. You know, not going to do that. Have you got any more, Kelly? I don't even know where we're up to. I've really enjoyed this night.
Number four. Right. Oh, oh God.
Let's go.
It's gone up. Right, so this was 1995. This band basically is the reason why I am the way I am.
There's an explanation?
Oh, you were nerdy, all about being a bit of an outcast, but not giving a shit. And this album basically kind of cemented the fact that be glad that you don't fit in, because who the fuck wants to fit in?
The Bloodhound Gang or something like that?
No. A different.
Oh, hey! Now a band I could not bite when they came out, but I now as an adult appreciate them. Isn't it amazing what adulthood can do to you?
When I was thinking about defining albums, if you spoke to me when I was like 24, the years would have been in this list, but it isn't now, because there's been so many albums that I can actually look back and reflect, no, this actually kind of did more to me. So pulled different class memories, right? Because as I say, I've mentioned my siblings, my sister and my brother. I shared a room with my sister, and she banned me from using her CD player. I was not permitted CD player. So I used to do it on the sly, and I knew she would actually angle the CDs in certain ways, so she knew that I'd been freaking using them. So I'd remember, mental note, well, it's a little bit kind of 3:15. I'll make
my gosh. I'm so glad I wasn't like that with my sister. It's too tiring. I couldn't be bothered.
But it's like I said earlier, my music sort of tastes were like moulded by my brother and my sister. I mean, my brother, I remember going in his room and twatting Catatonia International Velvet, which is one of my favourite. Absolutely, that Placebo. My sister was into Pulp and my brother was into Oasis. I fucking hated Oasis. And for me, I remember the Different Class album that she had. It was a special edition one where there was inserts where you change the front of the CD, CD cover, you know what I mean? And what I also found was Pulp, there was so much thought that went in to their album art. One of my favourite singles from Different Class was Misshapes, and I remember to bought that single, and it was actually a pattern for a Jarvis Cocker jacket. You opened it out, huge kind of pattern, but it had the lyrics down the side as opposed to measurements. It was just lush. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God. And the CD, it looked like a spool of thread.
Right.
Absolutely class. Anyway, so Misshapes was definitely, because obviously you've got your main singles on there, Common People, which I love, but I wouldn't say it's the favorite. Sorted Out for Ease and Ways, which is just fucking mint. Absolutely. I lost a part of my brain somewhere in a field in Hampshire. It's just like,
I think this thing that stands out about me, Jarvis Cocker, as well, was that Brit performance when they had Michael Jackson on, kind of took over the stage.
And they said in the sun, because I remember this, right, and this gets good. They said in the sun that he kind of like mauled children, and children were flying all over, and Michael Jackson was like, oh my God, I'm Jesus. You literally saw him jump on the stage, do that, and then run off. I was like, where's the massacre of children? Where's
It's the sun. If there's not, if they're not blaming, like, if they're not making like an absolute drama out of it, they're not reporting news.
It really, but that's one of the reasons why I just love Jarvis Cocker. I was like, get on your flash.
So I've got a really funny story to tell you before you move on, right? Nikki, right? Our mutual friend Nikki, she's gonna absolutely kill me for this. So she is a massive Michael Jackson fan, huge, like she was huge. And we went to see him for it was my birthday. But we went to see him with her mom in Sheffield. Amazing experience, best live performance I've ever seen, hands down. Great, right? However, when the whole thing with Jarvis Cocker happened, right? We were in our bedroom taking the piss out of our giddy. Michael got what was coming to him, didn't he? She kicked us out of the bedroom. She kicked me out of our house. She would only let me in until I said I was sorry. She's gonna absolutely kill us for telling this story. She was like, get out.
Do not return.
Yeah. We fell out for like half an hour over Michael Jackson. I loved him as well. I was literally just winding her up and she took it proper serious. Get out.
Another funny Michael Jackson story from college. Remember a lad we used to talk about with, I don't know if it was the year before you started, Sam, it was definitely there, Andrew Baker.
Yeah, I know who Andrew Baker is.
He used to do a Michael Jackson impression, and he was like skinny white guy, like from Seaham, and he used to be able to dance like Michael Jackson. So he used to do all the moves like moonwalking and stuff, and it was hilarious. But anytime anyone said anything negative about Michael Jackson, he used to flip out completely. It was always quite amusing. But yes, so I just remembered that story.
I vaguely remember something happening in the canteen with him and Amy Lampton. And I'm sure it was something over Michael Jackson, and Amy had chucked a hot chocolate off him.
Yeah, probably because
it was cold.
So it was a cold chocolate, cold hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah. But Amy launched it off him and got him right in the trousers, in the chest and the trousers. Oh, the good old days.
Oh, definitely. Well, what Jarvis Cocker, he was the inspiration for the Nashi glasses that I chose from Specsavers. I had Jarvis Cocker glasses for about 10 years. Because I chose Jarvis. And as I say, I just absolutely love this band. Misshapes was totally the anthem of the nerd. We don't look the same as you. We don't do the things you do, but we live around here too. There was just like a lot of like kind of community of like all the outcasts who were just a bit weird and a little bit quirky. But yet again, another album where it's dripping with innuendo. It's all about sex and all that. And I was totally ignorant to it. And like E's and Wiz, I was just like, I didn't know they were drugs. You know what I mean?
I thought they were just numbers.
Yeah.
To be fair, when Ebenezer Good came out, I thought it was just about a music about Scrooge.
But no, there's a song particularly on the album which wasn't released, and it's basically about class wars. So it's like a lower class person having revenge on the upper classes. So I love that kind of sort of like class wars. Like you think we're shit because we're, you know, lower class, council, but like getting revenge on the upper classes, and it's called I Spy. And he basically has an affair. This is like a song. He has an affair with this upper class man's wife, and he's like, just you off. I'm not even like. This is one of my favourite lyrics of life. My favourite parks are car parks. Grass is something you spoke. Birds are something you shag.
Kelly, Kelly, you are getting such a buzz in the comments, mind. Everyone is absolutely loving you. Yeah.
I'm just saying the Zoom thing. I'm taking this shit on my phone.
Yeah. They are absolutely loving you.
Well, anyway, that's me sorted with pub. You too, Crown, because I'm very aware that we only have 13 minutes till I'm booted off.
Well,
so we'll move on to your last pick.
I'm going to let you go for your last pick.
All right, no bother. Right. This was really freaking difficult. Really difficult. It had to be one of my favourite bands of all time, Arcade Fire. These people, oh my God, I remember New Year's resolution, I bought a violin because I wanted to elope with the Arcade Fire.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I had that violin for about 6 years. Couldn't get a fucking note out of it.
Yeah, that sounds like my sister.
Broken thing, and then I wasn't even making a note. I was like, oh, this is shit. I'll just hold it and look cool. So I remember being introduced to the Arcade Fire. I used to be a DJ in the Borough, painted black upstairs. I remember.
Oh my god! Hang on a minute. Go on.
Me and my mate Katie, we looked like proper indie scenesters. We loved the NME and all that sort of stuff. And I remember Julie and Jarvis, they went up to us and they went, "You look like you look like really cool. Do you want to DJ?" And we were like, well, yeah. So, yeah. And someone came up to us, and I can't remember for the life of us who he was. He was in this band, quite kind of libertine, pompous sort of thing. And he went up to us and went, "You DJ'd in the Borough?" And we were like, "Yeah," with our big, and diva. And he went, "You're like the Queens of Noise," which was like the dick. And he went, "You're the blonde one," and he made, "and you're the ugly one." And me, I was like,
"Oh, what?"
Blonde, because there was a blonde one and an ugly one. And yeah, he's like, "You're the blonde one," and my mate Katie thought, "You're the ugly one." I was just like, "Yeah, it's okay, Flake." Anyway, I used to go on Sound quite a lot to do some research for we used to like look for different music, different songs, and we were one of the first people to play Arctic Monkeys' Fake Tales of San Francisco before. And I remember I made a friend on the Drowned and Set forum. I made a friend, and I'm sure he was from Norway, and he sent me Neighborhood Number 1, Tunnels, from the Fire album. This was way before Arcade Fire had released the album. I don't know how we got this song. And I remember listening to it, and the intro is gorgeous piano. And it's about this apocalyptic situation where there's loads of snow, everyone dies, but they kind of make they evolve to like live in this place of snow and stuff. It's absolute, it's weird, but it's fucking gorgeous. And it was snowing when I was listening to it, and I swear to God, there.
How symbolic.
I was trembling like a bastard. It was amazing. Oh my word. One of the lyrics that really sticks out with me was it, "We let our hair grow long and forget all we used to know. Our skin gets thicker for living out in the snow." And then they're saying, "We remember our bedrooms, and the bedrooms of our friends, and then we think of our parents, whatever happened to them, because everyone's died in this apocalyptic." It's fucking mean. Anyway, I was going to choose Funeral because that was like the intro of to the Arcade Fire, and it was the album was a couple of months after that when I heard that. But I have to say that my favourite defining album, and it's a little bit like what you mentioned earlier, Paul, about a breakup sort of album. This, if it wasn't for this album, I wouldn't know where I would be today. And it's Reflector, which was released in 2013. I was in a relationship with who I thought was the love of my life. We'd had no years and we were engaged, and it wasn't working, and we stayed together a lot longer than we should have.
Yeah.
We felt like we owed it to each other, but
yeah, we've all been there. We've all done something like that as well. Yeah.
Same here.
I don't regret the time we spent at all, and to this day, I mean, I haven't seen him for years. I wish him well, whatever he's doing with his life. But as I say, it just didn't work out. But I was in this situation where it was like I had to choose to go. And he was the first person I ever lived with. And leaving a house and moving out on my own. And this album just really, when I first listened to it, I thought it was a bag of shite, literally. But and it was our band, because we went to see them in Manchester as friends, and then we went to see them at Blackpool as lovers. So it was just like, it was our band. But there's absolutely, David Bowie's on it. Oh my God. But all he says is, "Oh, the Reflector, oh, Reflector." I'm like, Bowie's just saying Reflector. How much do they have to give him to do that, like? But
it's more than the album cost, probably.
But there's a song, and it's called Afterlife, and oh my sweet Jesus, it is one of the most beautiful songs I've and this was the song that actually got me through a really bad breakup. The lyrics that they do, just, it's so poetic, and it just absolutely blows me mind. and the lyric is it's like basically two lovers falling out, and it's just and the lyric is when love is gone, where does it go? And that really shouted out to me, because I adored the bones of this boy, and I know he bones of me, but it was literally like, well, where has it gone? Like, you know what I mean? And it was just like, oh, and it was like kind of, there's a male and a female, and it just really felt like the crap that we kind of went through, like, oh, if we scream and shout, can we work it out? And you say, when love is gone, where does it go? And it's just like, oh my God.
My goodness.
Bless you. No, just before we wrap up as well, I want to call out my favourite album of all time. It was the first band I ever saw live. One of my good friends, again, I don't see him as much as I should, Kevin Gibson, got us into it, was the Foo Fighters' Colour in the Shape. And seeing the Foo Fighters for the first time absolutely blew my mind, and not, especially being, because I would never say I was big into music. I used to like it, but it never used to have like the emotional feeling that it does now. I was always a movie guy or a TV guy and stuff, but seeing the Foo Fighters live, it kind of brought something special. And listening to that album back, because it wasn't the Colour and Shade tour, it was I've forgotten it. It was, I think it was about 2 or 3 albums after that. But going back and listening to it, because we used to listen to it while we worked at, like I said, a little design company, and every song like was amazing. And even now, me and my wife, our first dance was Everlong. So like the acoustic version, not the full rock version, but that was like I said, the Foo Fighters, that album will always have a special meaning to me.
Oh, that's really special. I mean, to be honest, the Foo Fighters is quite special. Like, I've only just started appreciating them. And again, another band I've just started, like, I literally, not long ago, went through like a music resurgence where I was like, I need a bit of therapy. So music is, you know, music's done us before or good in the past. I'll try it again. And the Foo Fighters came up quite a lot, and I got their new album and I really enjoyed it. And obviously, like, Emma was thrilled for us. And I've seen them twice. I saw them at Hurton Park.
Yes.
And that was an incredibly special weekend. Emma, my dearest, my oldest and dearest friend Emma, who I loved bits. We had such an amazing weekend. And then I saw them again in Leeds. With Leanne, and honestly, that was so good. We were, I think we were incredibly hungover when they were playing. I know that for sure. I definitely remember that. Incredibly hungover, and they're like a 2-day hangover or something from the Friday night. But the Foo Fighters, I really love them.
So, anything else you want to add there, young Kelly?
No, not really. As I say, I'm really happy with talking, because I was a bit like, hey, God, I'm going to literally bash these out in like 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Because there's only so much I can talk about. But as I say, Arcade Fire, they have literally been my favourite band since 2014. I've seen them 7 times. I even see them when little Huxley was in my belly. And it was just like, this is your first gig, my child.
We have christened you to the fire.
You know what? I absolutely it's me go-to. So I used to be really kind of on it with music when I used to DJ, because as I say, I DJ'd a lot around Sunderland and that. And I must say, nowadays I'm a little bit out of touch.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like,
music just isn't what it is
before, you know what I mean? But it's been absolutely lovely sharing my stories of singing in red Ford Escorts and dancing with a neck curtain.
So we need the video of the neck curtain, don't forget that, Kelly.
Yeah.
So
work on that, like.
Oh,
who's joining us? Oh, it's Jake. Well, I tell you what, now since it's Jake, I didn't know who was coming on. I'm going to pop the toilet.
Right, I'm going down because I think my Sunday lunch is ready, and it's
look at you.
So thank you very much, Kelly. It's always a pleasure seeing you.
Oh, Kelly, it's lush.
And I guess we'll have you again in the future, no doubt. Now Team Podcast is on the way.
Right.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly.